Hi, I'm Adrin Himelheber. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada at beautiful Red Rock Country Club. Today I have a great tip for you on the forehand volley. Now what I see with a lot of players, especially at a junior or even a high level club player, adult, is there's way too much backswing on the volley. And I know you probably heard this a million times, you're pulling back too far, you're pulling back too far. But it's one thing to tell you that over and over, and it's another thing to give you the muscle memory exercises that are going to help you correct those bad habits or those dysfunctions in the forehand volley. So the first tip that I want to give you, and I've actually given this tip for the forehand ground stroke, is you want to make sure that you lightly hold your dominant wrist, okay? Now on the volley, I know you've heard frying pan, you don't want to go there, you want to be in a continental grip, and I know that's hard for a lot of you. So we're going to try to get a little feel and then take away that big backswing on the volley. So the first drill that you want to do is you want to make sure that this left hand is always in front of your chest or always in front of your volley, and you want to try to make contact with that ball out in front. Notice that from the side, this is about as far as I'm going. Now, you're never going to have that hand on there when you actually hit the volley. You'll have some space. But what I want you to do is just practice those muscle memory exercises where you're keeping everything out in front and then you're extending the elbow. The second tip that I want to give you today, I had a great coach tell me this a long time ago and it still applies to this day, is you want to pretend that you have a string from the bottom of the racket and it's connected to your left foot. So if I'm right-handed, I'm hitting a forehand volley, I'm connected with my left foot. If I'm left-handed, it would be my right foot. So I want to pretend that I have a string connected from the bottom of the racket to my left foot with the non-dominant hand on my dominant hand, and notice that I have my thumb and index finger here. So this is where I'm holding it and it's nice and light. I don't have a tight grip. We're moving this together along with the left foot. So I'm here, I'm moving it with the left foot every time. You can get a partner to hand feed. You can get a ball machine, go out there with your coach, work this drill. If I were doing this on my own, it's a little tricky, okay? But I'd let it bounce and then just work that punch every time. I'd feed the ball and then work the punch. Again, I'd feed the ball, work the extension. You may be asking, well, I have this grip on my volley, so how can I do that? Choke up on the racket and start working drills where you're just feeding to yourself and you're undercutting the ball with a firm wrist. So I'm literally dropping the ball right in front of my racket, and notice that I'm in a continental grip here. Okay, so I'm not in this Eastern forehand or semi-Western grip trying to hit volleys. I'm in a continental grip, and I'm opening up the racket face a little bit, and I'm just working drills where I'm getting feel, and I almost feel like I'm cutting under the ball. If you measure this tennis ball, you definitely want to try to get in the middle or towards the bottom portion of the ball. If I broke this into 3 sections here, I want to get to the bottom section to make sure that I get that underspin. A great volley has some underspin to it. So you want to make sure that you're coming under that ball, you're driving under that ball, and it's a very firm wrist. You're not breaking the wrist, you're not taking swings. You want to make sure that that wrist is firm, and then you're undercutting the ball. Now, if you already have that skill, then you can just roll with this drill, okay? So to recap, I have my hand on my wrist, I'm limiting my movement. I'm trying to create the energy from my weight transfer, so my left leg is connected to my right elbow, and both of those are extending out. I don't want these big backswings, okay? You want to make sure that you limit the backswings. Now, if you have a lot of time, it's okay to pull back a little bit, but I do not recommend breaking the plane and getting way too far back. The last tip that I want to give you is when you get the ball fed to you, or you have a partner hand feeding, or if you want to feed it on your own and a little high toss and then step and punch, same time, you want to work this hand behind you, similar to the forehand tip that I gave, where you have that 4-finger rule and you're behind. Now I'm dropping the ball and I'm working that punch every time. Again, look, I have this behind me here, dropping that ball, and I'm generating the power from here. These two are working together. Notice that there isn't any dysfunction or synchronization issues where I'm pulling back here and then stepping and then swinging. Everything's working together. Everything's working in synchronization. So on the forehand, to recap, first tip, put the hand around the wrist. Second tip, okay, You want to make sure that you're able to cut under the ball and you're able to keep the wrist firm and you're extending the elbow, and this bottom of the racket is connected with the left foot. I'm right-handed, remember that, and they're working together in synchronization. The third tip would be to apply this hand behind you, okay? The back of your hand is lined up with the elbow. You have some space. Why are we doing this? Because if I pull back, then I'm breaking that. So these two have to work together, and you notice that my shoulder now is working together. So if I put those together, bottom of the racket, I'm hooked up here with this back of the hand. Now I'm able to start feeding and practicing and drilling that volley the way a pro would do it or a high-level player would do it. If you enjoyed today's free lesson, please make sure that your notifications are turned on. I have a free gift for you that I want to share with you. I've worked with some of the best players and coaches in Spain, and they have a system that works. They've developed players from all skill levels. I want to share that free gift with you, so please click on the link below or somewhere on this page. Make sure your notifications are turned on, and I look forward to seeing you on the court very soon.